In developing scenarios, it's important to involve stakeholders. Those are people who have an investment in the success of an enterprise, whether it's a card game or a commercial company and its profits, or in our context, a school. So who are they? Well, for a school, it could be said to be everybody. Nobody wants to see schools fail, and everybody wants to see young children develop into successful adults. But more specifically, there's a primary group of stakeholders comprising those whose work and time is taken up in schools, from students, teachers and school management, the parents and carers of young people, and the administration at local and national level, as well as the governors or school board. But beyond that, beyond the world of the school, as it were, are employers who want the outputs of schools to be competent and motivated, higher education who want students to be competent again and interested in pursuing further studies. Then those are companies who provide products and services to schools, without whom their businesses would suffer. Ex-students and ex-parents all want to see their old school succeed, and the wider community in which the school is located. Unions of teachers, associations of subjects and special interest groups, as well as in some cases churches and faith groups. All of these have an investment in education, and they have different views on what should happen in schools. So why involve a wider group of people? It's easier just to talk to yourself. Well, firstly, all of these stakeholders are affected by what happens or doesn't happen in a classroom. They all have views, and if changes happen without consulting them, there's likely to be opposition and resistance. In any change, buy-in is very important, otherwise it doesn't happen. And thirdly, different views of different people help to avoid what's called groupthink, where like minds echo each other in a sort of echo chamber. We teachers use jargon which people outside the profession may not understand, for example, pedagogy, learning objectives, and it's easy to throw these terms around and people in the wider community won't understand them. Trends are an important part of scenario development. It's a means of understanding what's happening in the wider world, defined in the Oxford Dictionary as general direction in which something is developing or changing. From our point of view, it's important to note that these trends can often be gradual, so they aren't noticed. Particularly in the day-to-day rush and busyness of the classroom, the longer-term patterns of change may not be visible. But these changes can be happening insidiously but have a long-term impact. So why do we need to look at them in terms of scenario development? Well, first, for that very reason, to step back from the day-to-day, to take a helicopter view of what's going on in the classroom, why certain things happen, why other things don't happen. These trends shape the future classroom. They are powerful levers affecting everything that happens. If we understand them better and can harness them and direct them, then there's a chance we create the classroom that everybody wants. So what can we do, having drawn up a list of trends with stakeholders? The first thing perhaps is divide them into two groups. Those which you are aware of, but really which impinge marginally on the classroom, or which you can't do much about. But the second group, and maybe not too many of them, are those to take into account when designing scenarios, so that the outcome of a learning activity in a classroom reflects a trend and enables young people to cope with changes which can be a threat.